Yoga Therapy Thursday, talking about the hip hinge again. So, functional movement in the body, we want to use every single part of us to our own advantage, so it's optimal. When our movement is functional and optimal, it feels better in our body. Now, some of us are more load our back, and we're back dominant, and some of us would be quad dominant. And when we're kind of getting things up off the floor, getting ourselves up off the floor, or doing asana in a yoga class, we're doing it the same way. So if you are underdeveloped in your glutes, you are going to be quad dominant when you get up and down. And then the opposite will also be true. So when you're doing things like lunging forward or stepping back or doing a warrior, or just picking something up off the floor, if you don't have this hinge of the pelvis first, you're going to be overusing your back or putting too much pressure on your knee. So the hip hinge pattern, it increases the tension through the back muscles of the hips. So really using your glutes when you get this first fold from there. And it's not that the upper back rounds or the lower back rounds, it does in functional movement. But if you don't have this availability of the hip joint, you're gonna only be doing it from your back, or you're gonna only be doing it from your knees. You can put a lot of pressure in both of those places. So, if you had the tools to know how to use it, you would already be doing it. So that's why we have these external props, or you're with a teacher who's going to give you a manual adjustment or a verbal cue to help you get the cue internally so that you can then replicate it and find it for yourself. So this is amazing to find the hip hinge. Up, folding over something externally is going to put you, with your hips back, you're going to find the glutes using them when you come up. So you drive the heel, will give you the back of your hips so you can then come upright. Another way to do that, so finding the hips going back and finding what we call that first fold, and then also take your toes up on the blanket roll. And when you do that, when you're upright, you can't come forward and load the knees, right? It puts you back right away. And so when you come down, it's a much more balanced, functional movement just by lifting up the toes. So I get the engagement of my glutes, so I'm not just doing this from my knees, my legs, my quads. So try that out. Happy Yoga Therapy Thursday.